The story that you are about to hear is a compilation of documented true facts, featuring characters, events, or places that has played a role in shaping history. Please sit back and listen as I recite this narrative for you.
The Devil Made Me Do It trial of Arne Cheyenne Johnson is the first recorded court case in the United States in which the defense attempted to prove innocence based on the defendant's claim of demonic possession and lack of criminal responsibility for the crime. Arne Cheyenne Johnson was convicted of first-degree manslaughter for the murder of his landlord Alan Bono on November 24, 1981 in Brookfield, Connecticut. According to the Glatzel family's testimony, 11-year-old David Glatzel was the host of the demon that compelled Johnson to kill Bono. It all started when they went to clean up a rental property that they just acquired in the summer of 1980. An old man appeared to David, Debbie's brother, who would harass him. Johnson and Glatzel initially dismissed the tale, believing David was simply trying to avoid doing chores. Despite this, the encounters continued, becoming more frequent and violent. David's vision of the old man included the man appearing as a demonic beast who muttered Latin and threatened to steal his soul. David would wake up crying hysterically, describing dreams of a man with big black eyes, a thin face with animal features and jagged teeth, pointed ears, horns, and hoofs. Before long, the family asked a priest from a church nearby to bless their home, to no avail. So they approached paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren for help to cure David. He would kick, bite, spit, swear, terrible words. David's family members said of his possession. He experienced strangling attempts by invisible hands, which he tried to pull from his neck, and powerful forces would flop him rapidly head to toe like a rag doll. The boy didn't watch horror movies and wasn't known to lie. Bruises and scratches appeared on David while he slept, and strange noises were heard in the attic, but the family couldn't find a reason for them. Although the family allegedly heard strange noises coming from the attic, no one but David ever witnessed the old man. Johnson stayed with the family to help however he could. But disturbingly, the child's nightly terrors began to seep into the daytime as well. David described seeing an old man with a white beard, dressed in a flannel shirt and jeans. Meanwhile, David started hissing, having seizures, and speaking in strange voices, quoting John Milton's Paradise Lost and the Bible. Reviewing the case, the Warrens concluded that this was clearly a case of demonic possession. However, psychiatrists who investigated the case after the fact claimed that David merely had a learning disability. The Glatzel family, along with the Warrens, then proceeded to have multiple priests petition the church to have a formal exorcism performed on David. Ed and Lorraine Warren performed 4 minor rites of exorcism to expel the 42 demons allegedly contained in David's body. During the exorcism that the priests witnessed, David levitated, cursed, and even stopped breathing. Perhaps even more astonishingly, David allegedly predicted the murder that Arne Cheyenne Johnson would eventually commit. During one such rite, Arne Cheyenne Johnson challenged the demons to enter him instead. The process lasted several days before a demon fled the child's body and took up residence within Johnson, according to those present. David's condition worsened, and Debbie, along with Johnson, felt it was time to move out of her mother's home. Debbie was hired by Alan Bono as a dog groomer, and she rented a place near her work. Soon, Johnson started to behave strangely. Debbie said he would fall into trances. He would growl and hallucinate, but would have no memory of it later on. Johnson called in sick from his job at Right Tree Service on February 16, 1981, and joined Debbie, his sister Wanda, and Debbie's 9-year-old cousin Mary at the kennel where she worked. Bono, the couple's landlord and Debbie's kennel boss, bought the group lunch at a nearby bar, and then proceeded to drink heavily. The group returned to the kennel after lunch. Debbie then took the girls out for pizza, but she insisted that they return quickly because she was expecting trouble. Bono, who was inebriated by this time, became agitated when they returned. He grabbed Mary and wouldn't let go. Everyone left the room at Debbie's request. According to Wanda, her brother challenged Bono and ordered him to release Mary, and as the little girl ran for the car, Debbie stepped in to calm things down. Johnson then drew a 5-inch pocket knife and stabbed Bono repeatedly, growling like an animal. Bono died a few hours later. Before Bono's murder, Johnson was a regular teen with no criminal record. Bono was stabbed multiple times in the chest and stomach and then was left to bleed to death. Police arrested Johnson an hour later, stating that the two men had been fighting over Debbie, Johnson's fiancée. At first, Alan Bono's murder looked like an open and shut case, but his defense counsel claimed in court that he was possessed and the devil made him do it. Days after the stabbing, clergy members, paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, Johnson's mother, and his girlfriend all claimed Johnson had been possessed at the time of the killing. The trial drew worldwide media coverage and has gained recognition as a result of various representations of the events in literature and on television. Martin Minella, Johnson's attorney, made every effort to enter a plea of not guilty by reason of demonic possession. He also planned to subpoena the priests who supposedly attended the exorcism, asking them to defy tradition and speak out against the controversial rituals. Minella and the Warrens were ridiculed by their colleagues during the courtroom, who saw them as profiteers of tragedy. Judge Robert Callahan ultimately rejected Minella's plea. Judge Callahan rejected the unusual defense, saying it would be irrelative and unscientific to allow related testimony. While the involvement of 4 priests in the 3 exorcisms was never verified, the Diocese of Bridgeport acknowledged that priests assisted David Glatzel during a difficult time. Meanwhile, the priests in question have been told not to talk publicly about the situation. Bono's clothing, on the other hand, was allowed to be examined by Johnson's attorneys. They argued that the lack of blood, rips, or tears may support the assertion of demonic involvement. No one in the court, however, was persuaded. So, Johnson's legal team opted for a self-defense plea. Bono had 4 or 5 tremendous wounds, according to Johnson's counsel, mainly to his chest and one that extended from his stomach to the base of his heart. Johnson was apprehended 2 miles from the crime scene and was held on $125,000 bail at Bridgeport Correctional Center. This was the first murder in Brookfield, Connecticut's history and its 193-year history. After deliberating for 17 hours over 3 days, on November 24, 1981, Johnson was found guilty of first-degree manslaughter and sentenced to 10 to 20 years in jail. He only served about 5 years and was released for good behavior in 1986. He married Debbie while he was still behind bars, and they are still together.
Hey everyone! I just wanted to express how grateful I am that you took the time to listen to my narration. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I am Twysted Mind and please enjoy the rest of your day. Salamat!